So you ready for some Top Schmear?
Yeah, a lot of controversy on this latest Top Gear episode where they apparently pit a Model S and a Porsche Taycan Turbo S to the test in a head-to-head race, but apparently their figures did not hold up to scrutiny.
What are you talking about?
Well, when this first came out, I think that the consensus with Tesla people who are in the know about Tesla and the Raven and the performance of Model S as a drag racer, which isn't too many people, their consensus was that something felt a little fishy.
So Top Gear claimed that the Taycan Turbo S got a 0-60 here, you can see. But I guess the most important figure here is the quarter-mile figure, which shows that, according to Top Gear, the Taycan beat the Tesla by about 0.4 of a second.
And this had a lot of people who are in the know about really pushing their acceleration on the Model S into saying that's not right, because the Model S should have figures that are roughly 0.4 of a second faster than that.
So according to Drag Times, which is a YouTube channel that does tons of drag racings with Teslas and other cars, they consistently get quarter-mile times on the Model S of 10.6 seconds, right in that neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So they were really shocked when they saw that Top Gear couldn't seem to get the car to go that fast. So with further inspection, Drag Times conjectured that the Model S seemed to be not in the right mode. Now, what mode should it have been in?
So this is something that I don't know, and you don't know, because we don't have a Ludicrous Model S with the Ludicrous Plus package. Basically, you put it into Ludicrous Plus, and then to get it into an even higher level of crazy performance, you hold down on the Ludicrous Plus button, a Starfield image kind of whizzes past you, and then it asks you if you want your mommy, because it's going to be fast. Then you have to say, I accept, I understand that this will accelerate the wear and tear on my car. And
then it takes about 15 minutes to warm up your battery.
Right. And there's a bunch of different settings that change on the front binnacle. It shows you your battery temperature. It tells you lots of different information about some of your motors. And so we didn't see that in the footage from Top Gear.
And Elon concurred. He said drag race times analysis is correct. Also, there's a software upgrade for Model S coming out that increases peak power by 50 horsepower. So Model S should beat Porsche Taycan Turbo S by a wider margin in 0-60 and quarter-mile races. So wait a minute. So even regardless of what Top Gear found, Elon's saying that there's a new upgrade coming soon that's going to give you 50 more horsepower?
Right. And I think that what he's saying is that that's going to be an over-the-air update, meaning that all Model S's of a certain time of manufacture will get it.
Now, Top Gear admits that it used a Model S result from a previous race. So after all this controversy came out, they said, these were numbers we recorded in a Model S on a previous occasion. We ran them because these are the best figures we've achieved in a Model S to date. So we know that's what the car is capable of. And just to be clear, the Tesla was in Ludicrous Plus mode, the battery was preconditioned, and both cars had around 85% charge before the first run. I guess one of the big points here is that if this was from an earlier race against a Mercedes, was it even a Raven Model S that they had raced at that time?
Exactly. Because basically their whole thesis of their video is you could get the top-of-the-line Model S today, or you could get the top-of-the-line Porsche Taycan Turbo S with all the bells and whistles, and which one is going to get you the best. If you get a Raven Model S today, it will be faster than the car that they had tested previously with the Mercedes.
And not only that, Elon went on to say that putting Model S in range mode is the opposite of launch mode, as it minimizes performance in favor of range. Show should be called low gear. Now, what is he talking about?
So apparently, the car that they tested in the shot that you can see was in range mode. Now, range mode is something that you do in order to extend the range of your car, so it obviously reduces the amount of power that it gives to some of the motors. So basically, this was an unfair test that Top Gear made, put out into the world without telling anyone that they had the car in range mode. It wasn't in Ludicrous Plus with the I want my mommy, I accept my death kind of super Ludicrous Plus uncorked, whatever you want to call it, mode. And even after you see the Taycan beat the Model S, they use numbers that weren't from that race.
But, putting that aside, because I think most people don't really care that much about whether or not you could beat one car or the other by 0.4 of a second.
In a perfect drag race with perfect conditions where you had 15 minutes to preheat your car.
Exactly. If you're buying the Porsche, one thing they kept ignoring in this review was that you don't get autopilot. I mean, that's just something the car can't do.
Right.
Also, the car can't fit as much stuff. It has a lousy little frunk. It has a tiny little trunk. It has not much room in the rear seat.
Well, they did talk about that in their review of the Taycan.
But I mean, they kind of just glossed over that for the fact that it's a driver's car and it just feels so good on the road.
Not talking about autopilot is a severe, excuse me?
Or safety.
Right. They didn't mention safety at all.
I mean, I'm just saying, Top Gear, it's not all about going fast. Cars are about getting you from one place to another safely and reliably.
And especially when they were comparing the price of a Model S fully kitted out with the Taycan base package.
Right, exactly.
And they were doing the British version of the Model S, which meant that you had included, tariffs from an imported Model S from America. So it's not exactly comparing apples to apples. I know that it does depend on which region you are. So for people in England, it is a fair-ish comparison on price. Although, if you want to get a top-of-the-line Taycan, as we talked about before, it's well over $200,000. Thanks so much for watching this Now You Know clip.
Head over to Now You Know channel for full episodes of Tesla Time news and in depth.
And if you want to treat yourself and your family to something amazing, check this out.
Jesse and I have been enjoying Masterclass, where we've been learning all sorts of fun topics from the masters themselves.
Yeah, business leadership skills from Bob Iger. Yeah, that Bob Iger.
Jazz from Herbie Hancock.
Basketball from Steph Curry. Yeah, that Steph Curry.
And so many more.
Click the link down below to support our channel and experience what it's like to learn from the masters at Masterclass.